swirly things. Okay, we are live.
Good night, and thank you for tuning in to Peaches and Dream podcast.
Mhm. Let me make it public.
Share. Come to Let me not play their music too much before they interfere with the video.
Yeah, because we'll get copyrighted. Let me go ahead and find our live so I can make it public. There it is.
I'm about to share it too.
All right, there we go.
Did you worry about the passage of the cat and baby boy, I am a NASCAR racer. And when my day is going bad, you make it better.
Wait, what the fuck?
What?
Somebody who used to be in me and Travis's friend group is a Trump supporter, and I'm just finding this out.
Being that that's not an official topic, but for you to say something about the Trump supporter thing, I'm like, honestly, I don't trust none of these presidents. And like I said, Trump is the most transparent asshole of a president that we could basically kind of rock with, because you know the messed up stuff that he's gonna do 9 out of 10 times. The rest of them politicians, they lie to us and say they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, and then not do it. Trump is a well, I can't really say he's a liar too, because they're saying there's a lot of things Trump said that he was gonna do that he didn't do. But then again, anybody who knows anything about passing laws and stuff, he can say this is what I want, but then the rest of the Senate and Congress or whatever the case is could say get that shit the fuck out of here. We're not going to approve that. So we got to
Okay,
be realistic.
let me look at the comments. In the comments, somebody said, "Wow, ignorance at its finest," and they said block. Somebody else said, "Beat you." Um, oh, you tagged me in something.
I just shared the post.
Somebody said, "If you don't like his views, unfollow him. It's unnecessary to tell him you're unfollowing him or blocking him. I may not agree with this, but you have the right to do so. Do your thing." Like he's literally at a Trump rally in Atlanta. Like, what the fuck? Oh, somebody said blocking. A lot of people said blocking. Um, yeah. Mind you, this is a black guy. This is a black guy. Like, I haven't seen him in years. We used to work together, but I am just floored right now. A lot of black people really fuck with Trump, though. That's
Honestly,
what.
and like I said, it's because if you know anything, like honestly, I don't vote, but I'm like, if you think about it, Trump is one of those transparent motherfuckers. You already know what he's about. A lot of the politicians are they win us because they sit there and they tell us lies. Trump, you already know how he gonna fuck up the country. The rest of them gonna fuck up the country same way, because remember, any laws that they want to get passed, it still got to go through Senate, Congress, whatever the case is, all the three different branches. You understand? So even if we got, say for example, if I motherfucking became president, right, with everything that I want to do, all the changes that I would want to make, it's not gonna pass. No matter how black and black I am, the government could still block that shit. You understand?
Mm,
So now when I think about it, it's like, and then Trump is more so of a businessman. And when you think about the fact that he's a businessman, that's the best thing for this country, because at the end of the day, we can't have the economy crashing like how it did when the Great Depression happened. That's what we're on the brink of right now because of this coronavirus. Honestly, I don't know who's best for our country. I don't know who's going to be best for our country, because I don't trust none of these motherfuckers, honestly. So if you vote and that's your thing, I want you to go out there and vote based off of who you feel is best and encourage others to vote. But I personally won't be voting. And again, I touched this topic before. Only 13% of the United States is African American, 70% is Caucasian, and the rest is other. So even if all 13% of us voted, it's not going to work out in our favor if we assume that it was black against white. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
And I would hope that more than half of this country is not racist and more than half of this country is not gonna, side with the other, side against us. But then again, with everything that's going on, clearly this is still a racist ass America. So I wouldn't trust that anything is gonna be changing as far as, it doesn't matter who's in office right now, honestly. That's how I feel. I think you can vote locally and you could get bigger changes in that way to deal with your local government and officials. But when it comes to the president, that's a dub. I don't know why my ring light is twisted. Like I wonder. Oh, there it goes.
Alrighty.
Anyways, that wasn't a topic, but that's just my 2 cents.
It's in there because, girl, as soon as I got on Facebook after I made everything public, that was the first thing I saw. It was like, is that who? Is he at a Trump rally? I'm like, who? What? When? Where? And why?
I don't even understand. Well, I can't really say I don't understand the point or the purpose of Trump rallies. I mean, of presidential rallies, because me personally, I'm not attending nobody's rally for what? Like a lot of that, like a lot of our money pays for events like that. Like they can just literally send out a Zoom link and save our money, save our time, help stop this goddamn. They out there having all of these presidential, what is it called, meetings? Oh, which
Yeah,
what
the
rallies?
rally.
Rallies,
Yeah.
yeah. That they out here having all these rallies, and it's like we are still in the middle of a pandemic. We are still trying to, fight off coronavirus, but y'all defeat the purpose of the whole quarantine and social distancing rules for election. I'm not okay with that. Like I think, like this country come with the biggest set of hypocrites, the biggest set of hypocrites. I can't with this country, but it is what it is. Okay, you ready to go into the topics?
Yeah, let's get started with Daystar Shemuel Shua Peterson.
Okay,
That's Tory Lanez' real name.
I'm just like okay, like
First of all, his parents named him Daystar.
I didn't even start drinking for this one. Hold on.
Uh, girl,
Gotta get it down quick too. All right. So honestly, we're gonna be talking about this Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion situation. We touched base on it a couple of times already. I'm not a fan of speaking on it because, for one, Meg Thee Stallion is supposed to be the victim. So I feel like it's her story to tell, right?
what victim doesn't press charges against her attacker? What's going on,
We gonna like this gonna be a 2 hour conversation like that 2 hour YouTube video that you sent me.
girl?
This is a tough one. I should have took
Yeah,
notes, man. Like this is crazy.
yeah,
Whew. Okay, so for those of you guys, just to recap, this apparently it was a situation where Meg Thee Stallion was shot. Meg Thee Stallion came out and she said out of her own mouth on a live that she was shot by Tory Lanez, right? So now Tory Lanez basically said he was going to go live, or there was an assumption that he was going to go live, but really he was dropping an album. So with the album that he would drop, basically he's telling some of the story about what happened between him and Meg Thee Stallion, and it's other stuff that I didn't even hear the album, but I did watch a review on it, so I got to hear some of the lyrics. Part of the lyrics he's saying that Meg Thee Stallion is basically trying to frame him. So now it's like who the hell? It's like to me, it's clearly some gaslighting, and that's dangerous because it's something dangerous because you don't really know who to believe at this point. Because some people are coming out and says Meg is a liar, and they're saying that he's a liar. But at the end of the day, we got to look at the facts because that when everything first came out, you know what? You go ahead because you talking forever. Yeah, so that's the little background. All right, you go ahead now.
well, I'm just a little bit baffled about some of his lyrics. Apparently, he told her, "Dance, bitch." And then, desperate to fix his mistake, he offered her hush money to cover it up. That's the story he told to Complex by a source close to the. Oh, okay. I'm reading the an article, but he raps, "How the fuck you get shot in your foot? Don't hit no bones or tendons." He also take a swipe at Meg's management, Rock Nation. "I don't give a damn if Shorty no jigger." Jay Z.
Hold on, pause right there because I have to make a
Okay.
comment on that.
Yes,
So
go ahead.
basically, there's rumors that Jay Z produced this album that he dropped. So
What? The
exactly. This is
personally
why.
produced?
So basically, yeah. So when it comes, yes, I read that somewhere. I can't tell you where. I should have took notes and screenshots, but I was just so busy today. Um, I'm gonna find it, y'all. Anyways, you go ahead. But that's what I heard. So if that's true, then you know all of this was strictly publicity, strictly. But I'm gonna find it. Give me a minute. Go ahead. So carry
Okay,
on.
so well, wow. uh,
You was talking about the album, how you said something. No, you said something about him saying he don't give a damn about Jay Z. Go ahead, that part.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was talking about some of her lyrics. Um, well, I am reading from an article. The source says they're speaking out because the public response around Tory's project has made people doubt Megan's story and even mock her. Well, they've been doing that ever since, before the shit came out.
That's what let you know people are so fucked up. They really made a mockery of that girl's incident. And I don't like shit like that because it's just like people are big, they mean, they big ass bullies, and that shit is just crazy because some people are sensitive as fuck and they don't take that into consideration none at all. Or they be like, okay, yeah, her light is already on the spotlight, but at the like me, I'm all about positivity. I don't like when people try to tear people down or people try to make a joke out of the fucking out of people's struggles. Like she depends on her foot and she was shot in her foot. She's an artist. You understand? So he could
Hmm.
have fucked her whole like whatever. Well, we cannot gonna say him, but whatever happened that night could have really fucked her foot up, and she clearly had some type of injury to her foot. You would understand her money is probably being fucked with right now because of that situation. Like just have some type of sympathy. But a lot of people is just a lot of people. I don't know. A lot of people fucked up in the head. Keep it 100. But carry on. I found the comment too. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw me bust my happy dance, but I found the comment about what was said. Like I said, I don't know how true this is, but me, I be reading stuff and I found it. So let me know when you're ready to hear that.
I think this is more lyrics. He says, "Girl, you had the nerve to write that statement on that affidavit. No, I ain't do it, but I'm coming at my truest, and I thought you was solid too. But look at how you doing me. Look at how you doing me. People trying to ruin me." He brings up his claim that he's being framed for a second time later on in the song, rapping, "Niggas, y'all can play me, y'all can frame me, but I'ma reach the top. I would never put you in no danger. And if I did, you would have said it when you seen the cops." But she already explained that. Can't believe she played the witness trying to make him statements. "Grace of God, you know the truth. So I'm going to beat them cases. I would never put my hands on a woman, dog. I would never let it be let it blim on a woman, dog." Okay, I don't know what a blim is.
Me
Okay.
neither. I don't be understanding half that slang shit. And it's
Okay.
crazy because I grew up in Brooklyn, right? But it's cool.
Oh,
Growing up, they used
so
to say I talk white anyway. But I got
he
you.
said
Wait, guys, let me stop.
he, he also says, me and Kylie Jenner still off in the pool. We was chilling, kicking shit was cool. Both of us didn't know you was tripping, even though I got a crush on Kylie. I would have left with you if I knew you was dipping for
What?
for the simple reason you invited me, but I can't act like Shorty didn't excite me. Oh, but
Nah,
but
he is gaslighting to them. Now, you know it's crazy because I seen somebody post and they said he's gaslighting. I'm like, how is it that you're not even talking about and clearing up the fact that this girl was shot in her foot? You talking about some, oh, even if Kylie liked me. It could have been some shit like that, you know? Some tension shit, some jealousy shit, whatever the case was. But for him to go and put it in a song before you be like, you know what? Shit gotta, I mean, you know, okay, this is, let me say this. I think that it's crazy to me that everybody wants this man to come out and apologize so damn bad. That's what they really want. They want him to admit what he did and apologize. But here's the thing. Y'all crazy for wanting that because at the end of the day, if he was sorry, he would have said he was sorry a long time ago. If he had any
of course,
remorse, he would have publicly cleared the name, cleared his image, and said, hey, I apologize. Things went bad. He would have cleared his name. He doesn't care about, it's either he doesn't care about clearing his name. Well, honestly, let me show you what he did. He, because we're going to go back to the messages that came out, right? They said that they found messages from Tory Lanez to Meg Thee Stallion, and he was like, sorry, I think I was drinking too much. So in those messages, we can assume he was apologizing because something definitely did go down that could have been avoided, that he had some type of fault too. But we
something
don't know
happened.
what.
It was only four people in the truck.
But
And
here's the thing.
from our understanding, Tori was sitting behind Megan. She was in the front passenger. Kelsey was on the left driver side in the passenger side, and the bodyguard was in the driver's seat. So who in the hell would have been able to shoot Megan in the foot from either side?
We're
Tori.
not we're not gonna think about all of that. We don't even have to question all of that because we definitely were not in the car. But we do
But
know
why are
that
you trying to
Megdi,
make
hold
it
on.
seem like everybody else is fucking crazy?
Here's the thing. The fact that we know is that we heard from the horse's mouth that she was shot by Tory Lanez. We also heard from the knight's mouth. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna call him, from Tory's mouth, that
The nigga's mouth.
we heard from Tory that he was quote unquote apparently Meg is trying to frame him. So it's like that's two different stories. That's saying like he didn't do it and he's trying to get and she's trying to frame him. But that part of it all makes no sense because if she was really trying to frame him, she would have been going mad hard right now to make sure that she pressed whatever charges she needed to press to frame him for whatever crime she's supposedly trying to frame him for. She's trying to frame him when he's not even in jail. When based off of the events that happened that night, if she really was trying to frame him, he would have been sitting in jail right now, especially because they're saying that he's on parole or probation or some crap, and he was caught with drugs on top of that. So why is he a free man walking? So it either that's why a part of me thinks that, oh yeah, it was a publicity stunt. Part of it. Oh, let me read the comment now that I found it.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So the comment says, and this is by Dagmar Black. He commented on this Meek at Night video that you sent me with her 2 hour long review of the situation. Megan got shot over Kylie, allegedly. Then she dropped WAP with Kylie in the video. Then Tory have people waiting for him to go live and drop an album, to go live, and then instead he drops an album. And finally, Tory dropped a video on Tidal. I didn't see that video, but somebody was talking about it on Tidal, the streaming platform. Oh, that's what they said. Tidal. It says the streaming platform run by Megan's label owner Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I want you to check that. Check and see if Jay-Z. I don't know if you know off the top, but check and see if Jay-Z really owns Tidal because that's where they're saying the video was
He
dropped.
owns the most shares of Title.
Mm. And it says, if y'all can't see the toxicity by now, I don't know what to tell you. Like, honestly, I think, like, this is how I see it because it's a situation where, like I said, my daughter's father died in a drunk driving car accident. In that situation, they saw it as if, okay, the driver was drunk and under the influence. So a lot of the times when people are drunk and under the influence, that already devalues the crime, at least from what I experienced with the drunk driving situation with my daughter's father. And I don't think that that shit is cool. Like, cause they'll always try to sit there and say, alcohol makes you do this and makes you do that. If you know alcohol puts you in that type of state of mind, then you just don't need to be drinking, period. And if you are drinking and you're going and you're acting out and you're shooting people in their foot while you're drunk, then clearly you're toxic and you need to check yourself into some type of rehab. You understand? But like I said, we don't know if that's what happened because, like I said, we weren't there. But I do feel like it's messed up that he didn't sit down and clear the air. The last thing I want to say is that you also have to keep in mind, because somebody also brought this up, that when there's an active and open investigation, sometimes they can't talk about what happened. You know that, right? For legal purposes, they cannot. Even with the car situation, we wanted to see the vehicle. They like, no. I mean, we can't even see pictures of the vehicle. They're like, no, it's under investigation. Like you like basically when it's they tell you sometimes that you're not allowed to discuss the details. So we don't know if that's the situation. But at the same time, I feel like with Meg Thee Stallion, it's her story to tell. And it's like people want to apologize so bad. Even if he came through and apologized, what if the apology is fake? What if he don't mean it? What if he goes and shoots somebody else in the foot? Like you got to figure out the root cause of the issue. And that's what I don't like about people. Like, you have an issue. Him and her should have been able to sit down and say, okay, this is what happened, come to some type of conclusion, and then maybe they go live together and address the issue publicly. But then again, they're not obligated to. But until then, we're going to keep wondering, basically, you know? And so, so many guys was defending Tory Lanez, like, oh, we
They
don't know what happened.
were.
And
They were.
I'm like, it's fucked up because
Talking about Megan got stank ass pussy. Like, come on now. You don't even have to go there.
like I don't even know why they would say that and what business the guy to do with them. But at the end of the day, whatever she got going on, if she didn't shoot him, he didn't have no business shooting her. Like if she would have shot at him, he would have shot back. Okay, I understand that. But as a woman, why did you? I mean, like I said, we don't even know because now he's saying he's being framed. But like I said, with Meg Thee Stallion, I don't really see her as having a reason to actually lie. And the fact that he's not in jail, like I said, it could very well be publicity. Like
She
very
could.
well be.
I mean, I don't think she could have shot herself in the foot. Tori was the one found with a gun, and they were his guns. And here's the thing: she obviously was shot from behind. From the picture she showed, she got shot in the back of her foot, and the bullet fragments got her in the other foot. So you know what? Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't know. Maybe they could have shot at the floor, and then maybe the floor. I don't honestly. I don't know. But somebody said with the type of gun, sometimes when once the basically they said that a lot of the times the bullets turn into little fragments instead of a solid bullet.
They
I
do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah. The
mom had a
bullet.
bullet in her leg, but when she took it out, let me see. When she took it
What's
out, yeah, my mom was shot in her leg
girl?
when she was pregnant.
What's Tara doing getting shot?
Honestly, it was a crazy ass nigga. It was a crazy ass nigga. Let me tell you that story. So basically, my mom said when she was growing up, she has a sister. It was her sister's baby father that shot her. Like he was knocking on the door. Mind you, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So my mom opened the door, like, why the fuck you banging on the door with an attitude? Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and they're banging on the door. So it was a situation where he basically shot through the door. She said she didn't really know that she got shot though until she realized she was bleeding. And then the doctors, they told her they couldn't take the bullet out. Mind you, of course, I wasn't born when this happened. It's just the story she told me, right? Mind you, crazy ass fucking niggas, right? So, but the bullet ended up coming out her leg when she was pregnant with my baby brother. So, but when it came out, it was probably like this big, like this much of a bullet.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a solid piece of it was a solid chunk. So I seen a bullet, but that's the only bullet I've seen before. So,
Huh.
yeah, and it's crazy because
Huh.
the doctor said if they would have took it out, it could have messed up her walking and stuff. So they never took it out, but it came out eventually on its own, and she's fine.
Uh,
I'm like, good thing she
um,
fluffy like me, because you got more cushion for the push, and she was protected, right? Okay.
you silly. Okay, we have a little bit more lyrics. We have a lot more lyrics.
We not gonna read all
Um,
the Tory lyrics. I'm sorry. You need to skim through and read the important stuff so we could point out the
no,
BS.
that's what I have. Like this article, it like somebody must have listened to all his music and
And was
got
like,
out
yeah.
everything that he was referring to. He was referring to her. Like, yeah,
How
like
they come up with this shit so fast? They got it word for word for word for word. I'm like, you
girl.
gotta be this bitch, and that's supposed to be my bitch.
He said I had took a wrong turn that night. I wasn't the wrong one that night. You was too drunk to even see it. Wasn't anticipating I'd ever put you in no situation. I've never had an argument with you. Conversation, I'm all bargaining with you. Cause you was my nigga for real. And if you can agree, then you owe me that. Don't forget you was my bitch. I held it down and kept it real. Ooh, I would never paint no fake picture of you just for some mills. Oh, millions. And I thought you was solid too. But look how you doing. Oh, I already read that. When does it get strange? When you start lying to your best friend about us and hoping she ain't entertaining. Or is it strange when the loving come with secrets and games, when the world unveil your curtains and they all laughing at your pain. But does it change when we both reveal both of our mothers died? We still dealing with some pain and need someone to entertain? Or does it change when you break down in my arms and start crying, feeling like you all alone and I tell you everything's okay? Will we ever talk about this? Will we ever console again? Or will we keep on acting like I put you in danger and some pain? Girl, that's all
Honestly,
that
it's
I have.
crazy. I wonder if he actually took the time to try to talk to her because basically they're both toxic, clearly, right? But at the end of the day, there's not going to be anything that could justify why. Like putting your hands on a woman is one thing, but then again, a lot of the people are going to say if you look at the height, Tory Lanez to Megan Thee Stallion is definitely a huge height difference. So he could very well be intimidated by her, but it still does not give him the right to, pull out a gun and shoot her if that's what he did. And then on top of all of that, he's saying he wants to reconcile, which means he wants her back. So
Speaking of
clearly,
speaking of height, oh now I'm 5'3", niggas saying I'm a shorty. But little bitch, I'm 5'7", money on me sidestepping. That's still not that tall for an average male height. But go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead,
five
Tori.
seven,
Go
two
ahead.
Tory. Nah,
There.
me, nah. But for real though, I don't. This situation is just hard. It's 8:28 on the clock. Y'all know August 28th is my birthday, so say happy birthday to me. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay.
It's 8:29 now. Y'all late. Y'all late. Keep your happy birthdays to yourself. Nah, but for real though. Like I said, the whole situation, I really feel like I said, Megan, they're not entitled to sit down and explain anything to us. But I do feel like it's sad that like just hearing the way guys are viewing the situation, they're like, oh yeah, like they making it seem like as if anything was okay about that, and there's nothing okay about that. There's nothing at all okay about it. And then like people gotta keep, they're like, oh, she's like 6 feet, which I expect them to do. Not that, not shoot her in her foot. Damn. Anywho,
Mm, mm.
like I said, it it could very well be publicity, and if it's not, I apologize for assuming that that's what it is, but that's how it seems. And then he comes out with an album, and he thinks the shit he's saying is the crazy part is that he thinks the stuff that he's saying is okay. You supposed to be my bitch. You supposed to be
Word.
my bitch. You're supposed to be my woman, my lady, my queen. This is
Well,
what's wrong with half of our black men. Like, and people don't even understand that. Like, people really don't understand it, and to me, that's a problem. Because at the end of the
well,
day, she was shot. You could have been more respectful. You calling her a bitch
I was
after.
just about to say, like, if that's the case, I would really appreciate you not calling me a bitch.
I'm saying, like, That's why I'm saying he to me he seems narcissistic at this point, and he's gaslighting like crazy. Because I'm like the bigger issue is the fact that she was shot. You got shot too. Now if you come out and you say like, oh, she shot me first, okay, now you got to pass. Because now I understand it could have been like you shot me, I shot you. But what marks do he have? What was the situation? And like I said, if it's under investigation, we're not going to know that because they're not going to be allowed to speak on it. But it's just crazy. He put a lot in his song though. He should have damn put it in a song and changed the names. You know you could do that, right? You could talk about something, change up the names, change up the dates, change up the times. You just gotta make it not seem like it was the specific event that's under investigation.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
But I just feel like women, like we as women, we need to like realize what's okay and what's not okay because it's like the guy that you're sleeping with should not be pulling out no gun and shooting you. Even it don't matter what the issue was, it should not have escalated to a gunshot because clearly he's making references in his song that lets us know that there was something going on where there was some tension between him wanting Kylie, and he even
Yeah.
says, "Yeah, if I wanted Kylie," and then he's talking about it. Like, can you imagine if that's my man? It makes me want to punch my husband in his face. I'm just thinking about it. But if it's my man and me and him going through something, and say for example we at the pool, and then he's looking at Kylie, and I'm like, nigga, why the fuck you? And mind you, we things tense up, and then we get into an argument. And then he's putting it in a song like, yeah, she was bad. She was, what he said about Kylie? You got to pull up those lyrics. He said something about, oh, if I liked Kylie, she was looking good. He said something that you said. And I'm like, you want to sit there and rap about
Yeah,
it
talk
and
about some
admit to
Kylie
it?
excited him or some shit like that.
Yes,
It
Kylie
sounded
excited
like
me.
he was being an old dusty ass nigga and flirting with Kylie. But we already heard this. He was flirting with Kylie, and that's how the whole, the argument ensued.
But this is so crazy because, like I said, I'm gonna tell a story, but I ain't disclosing no names. But I have somebody that I know that
Okay.
she was at a pool. She was at the pool with her man, and basically, with her being at the pool with her man, she basically tried to play with him with the beach ball, and then he throws it to some other bitches and starts playing with them. So listen to how the story ends. The story got crazy. So she calls me and she's telling me about it. She even showed me the camera where he was like playing with the girls and he's even dancing for them. And I'm like, mind you, this her nigga that flew her out there, whatever the situation was, right?
Oh, she got
So
flued
then
out.
she got flued out, and then this nigga's
Ah,
entertaining other bitches. So she's on the phone with me. So the guy, mind you, I know him. I spoke to him a couple times before. So he wanted because when he see her on the phone and me and her talking and laughing and smiling, and I'm doing my cards. Speaking of cards, I ain't even put on my cards tonight, but I'm doing my cards and doing a reading for her. And then he comes and he takes the phone and he's like, "What's up? We talking. Me and him good. We good. Cool. Everything good." So after that, I'm like, girl, I'm gonna let you get back to your boo now that he's in her presence and he's not entertaining no other bitches. Okay, cool. So then she calls me and she's in the hotel room and she's like, how he's mad at her because she walked up on him and he was about to kiss a girl and she caught it. The girl ran up to her and was like, mind you, the girl knew that was her man. The girl ran up to her and was like, I'm sorry, babe. She starts crying because her nigga was about to kiss a bitch, and she's like, suppose, mind you, like she's just crying because somebody it might make somebody emotional. Like your nigga, you just caught your nigga about to kiss a bitch right there in front of your face, but he wasn't expecting you to be there. And then instead of your nigga coming up to you, you got the bitch coming up to you apologizing, right? He starts yelling at her because she's crying. So she goes upstairs, and that's when she called me. And I'm like, he's mad at you because you were crying because of you almost catching him kissing a bitch. Yeah. So then he comes upstairs, and instead of saying, babe, I'm sorry that you had to see that, babe, it wasn't what you look like, babe, don't cry. Why the fuck are you, a grown ass woman, by the pool crying? I was like,
okay.
whoa. Mind you, I was talking to him earlier. So I said, Sasha, I said, let me talk to him, and just, explain to him how you may have felt in these moments. Oh, I don't want to fucking talk to nobody. I'll throw that whole phone over the fucking balcony. I'm like, whoa, he is crazy. Did I say a name earlier? Hopefully not.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think you did. I think you did.
Yeah. Anywho, this crazy. That's sad. But I said I wasn't gonna say no names. But anywho, it's a million and one people with that name. But you hear the story though, right? So to me, it's like, how is it that a man? What is wrong with him? Honestly, how would you feel in that situation? What is your viewpoint?
Huh?
What is your viewpoint on that situation? Like, what would you have done as a woman? And that's because I don't understand how guys. I don't understand how they feel
Packed my shit
justified.
and left. Packed my shit and left because he knew
But
he
you,
was in the wrong, and
but
then
here's
tried
the
to flip
thing.
and make it seem like it was her. I hate when niggas
Exactly.
do that type of shit.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy? Because he was the one who said, you know what? I'm packing. You pack your shit. You get the fuck out of here. That's how he was handling her. And I'm like, bro, why would you not comfort your woman and explain to her and say, babe, this is not what it seemed like? But his thing was that he's embarrassed because of people seeing him in that light, in that image. So instead of him taking ownership of what he was doing wrong, he wanted to make it seem like she was the problem. You understand? And guys do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sad because like even like my husband does it. Like I'm like, what is, and it's even all those guys that's trying to defend Tory Lanez and that's talking bad about Meg Thee Stallion. Like at the end of the day, that's what's wrong with our people. Why are you tearing down a black woman that was shot in the foot? Tory wasn't shot. If he was injured too, it would be okay. We can have a little bit of sympathy because clearly there was some type of back and forth. But she's the injured one, and that's the facts, is the proof. There's the X-ray. There's the fragments in her foot. What more proof do y'all need?
But that just shows you where a lot of niggas' mindset is. Like they'd rather
That's what I'm
take
saying.
they'd rather take an abusive nigga's word over the woman.
And it's crazy because guys, like even like in that situation that I was telling you about, his guy friends were right there. His guy friends did not step in and say, you know what, guy, you're wrong. You know why? Because they afraid. They afraid to go against their man's actions. They afraid of that. They afraid to defend a black woman. And that's why the fuck we got this Breanna Taylor situation.
Mhm.
And when I say like, okay, yeah, we have Barack Obama. We have a lot more people that could really press and press and press and do what needs to be done to get justice. But are they going to do it? And then, like I said, at the end of the day, it really ain't enough of us. And then the ones that we do have, the 13 fucking percent of us, the black portion of that are males, they not defending us like how they should, you know. It's just fucked up. It's very fucked up because it's like I have daughters, and I'm like, whew, as a mom, no.
Yeah. Well, speaking of daughters, how would you feel if your daughters were a part of a dance team and dancing in a way that they saw in social media and thought that it was okay to do it in real life?
Okay, so are we gonna start talking about cuties now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so guys, on to the next topic, right? So
Yes.
there's a show on Netflix that I did not watch, but I saw the trailer and it's called Cuties. And in this show, it's supposed to be an 11-year-old rebellious girl
It's a
that
movie, but go ahead.
joins, huh?
It's a movie, but go ahead.
Oh, it's a movie.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
French film. It's a French film actually, but it's subtitled for English.
So are they speaking English in the actual movie? Because I didn't watch it. I think they
Yeah,
were speaking English.
there's English dub and then there's subtitle. You
Yeah,
can
because I
watch.
think that the little girl comes from like an African family or something because they have the accents and then they look like they're Muslim. So
Yeah,
basically,
Muslim is their religion, but they're Somalian French, so they're in France.
mm, but they also seem like they're African though.
Somali, yeah, Somali.
Oh, oh, I don't know. I've never heard of that. You should have said that. You should have said West Africa, South Africa.
Girl, I don't know what it is, but
Give
yeah.
me something to work with.
Either way, they are African, but they are Somali in
And
Africa.
so
So,
this
but go
11, the
ahead.
movie is supposed to be about an 11-year-old girl who basically finds this passion for like this seductive dancing. So is it that she joins a dance group? I just saw the trailer, and then I saw also the video that you sent me, and
Mm-hmm.
it's disgusting, guys. As a mom, I'm gonna say that because, like, with me, like, having like a Drake and dad, and then also like growing up listening to like reggae and soca, like, there's a lot of a lot of like twerking and butt shaking and stuff like that when we dance because that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, they're doing like in this video they have this. I don't know if the actor was really 11, but even so, the film is
No, they
basically
are. The kids are kids.
they're really kids.
Yes.
And the girl's supposed to be 11, and then the dance that they're doing is a seductive dance that you might see a stripper do. And then they all like, like, and then touching their private, all of that stuff
Yes.
is disgusting because I'm grown and I don't even do that shit. So I don't want to see my kids ever doing it. And I definitely didn't like seeing a little 11-year-old girls doing it. That shit is crazy because I'm like, some girls are gonna be fast, and I think that starts normally like high school, like 14 through 16 age, when girls start even wanting to, experiment like that and do really like even think like that. At 11, nah,
I don't
nah.
know because when did Back That Ass Up come out?
What is back that ass up?
um Juvenile representing for the 99 and the 2000. Get you working
Oh,
with your
girl, you
ass
look good.
leg.
Won't you back that
Yeah,
ass up?
and yeah, and the
But
whole
what's up
cash
with that?
money, and the whole cash money, shake that ass. Luke, we can even go back to Luke. We heard Luke when we were little. And once, if we were able to get away with it, we might dance how we saw on BET. Like, it's the same thing, except now these kids now have social media and now they have TikTok. These fucking TikTok dances are showing these little girls how to, dance in a grown such a way how we used to do. But we are
Honestly,
making,
like I said, you have to keep in mind that I grew up where, we would play music and whine and shake our butts in the house because it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. We did that in the house, dancing, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Even now, how old are my kids? I got to think about this. 7 and 9, basically, right? Could throw on some music and then they'll start dancing because if we do that in the house. Now, if we on the street, you're not going to see my kids dancing the way,
But
because,
there's the difference. There's the difference. They'll dance in front of you because you're there monitoring their waistline, making sure that I'm getting too into it. There's nothing wrong with dancing. Kids do soca. Kids do soca. Kids, we did, little booty bounce. But it wasn't to the point where if we were doing it, we weren't surrounded by grown men watching us. It
right. And
wasn't
then
there wasn't any sexualized, any inappropriate situations. This shit right here, I understand Cuties has a whole storyline and the whole movie is
nah,
centered
Cuties was
around
disgusting because they really had put their hands by their private part. For what? You could dance and not,
that
you could
was
shake your butt
cringy.
and not touch your private part. You can dance and you don't have to be doing all that. Like,
Yeah. Now that is about the only part of the movie that was cringy, but that being put out other than the point of the movie explained
was that a
really
real clip from the
fucked up.
movie?
Huh?
Was that a real clip from the movie? Because even in
Yes,
the movie, you see them watching the girls perform, and a lot of the people was like ill and covering their kids' eyes, because there was one lady who covered her daughter's eyes while their girls was
yeah.
dancing on stage like that because she's like, I don't want my baby to see that.
But it was a
And
mixed reaction. It was a couple of teenage boys in the audience who obviously enjoyed it. And the judges, obviously the judges have judged, young girls dancing and dance troops and all that type of shit. They were completely fine with it. So it depends on who's watching. And it,
And
whew,
it's disgusting because it's sad because it really depends on who's watching because that shows you who would look at that and be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with what they doing. And it's people like me that just thinks about it and just be like, ill. Like, I will personally have dragged my daughters off that goddamn stage and beat their nah. But I'm saying, like, it's just the sexual act behind it. To me, there's nothing wrong with whining and shaking your butt. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing it, I think that you should be doing it. Nobody needs to see you doing that. I think you should really be doing that under adult supervision. There's no reason for you to be like publicly doing that. Even the sexual stuff is what don't sit well with me. And them putting their hands by their private part, like stuff like that is like, nah, what are you really trying to teach these kids? What are you trying to
Well,
teach them?
sh the did you watch the For Harriet video?
The one with the review?
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically, to me, she kind of defended it, which I see what she's saying. How do you feel about it? Because she kind of defended it, but go ahead.
I understand what she's saying, but I think it still would have been the same reaction if we knew the point of the movie before seeing those little girls dancing like that. Like,
Oh, but that's the thing. I didn't even watch the movie. I get what you're saying, but even when I saw the trailer, I saw that it was just a movie about a rebellious little girl. But at
yeah,
the
it's
same
more of a
time, huh?
coming of age. She realizes that, she doesn't want to be like everybody else. She wants to come into teenage and womanhood organically instead of doing things more adult and more provocative like everybody else is doing. She at first she wanted to be, part of the cool crowd because that whole group in the school, they called themselves cuties. So
Mm.
she was, a little bit more aware of herself and she just wanted, to fit in, but she realized that, it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. And, at the end of the movie, after the competition, she just, went back to her regular self and, went back to doing her. But it's something that all teenage girls, all preteen teenage girls go through. Not well, everybody's experience is different. And I think that's what the filmmaker was trying to convey is that, it's tough being a little girl. You're a preteen, you're probably having your first period. Other girls in school are judging you by how you look, how you dress, your skin tone, how you talk, whatever. So you're just trying to find your footing as a person and as a young woman also. So that's what the filmmaker was trying to convey. I think I understand what she was trying to do with the whole dancing, the whole dance competition, because girls today, when e- e- everything is this whole TikTok bullshit. Kids see everything on TikTok and then they repeat it, they record it, they upload it onto TikTok, they regurgitate it on TikTok, and they get a whole bunch of fucking followers. But we don't even know who these followers are. These followers can be grown ass men watching your kids do all these provocative dances.
And that's the thing. That is why you don't let your children be like my kids. They make well, they don't really do that stuff. At one point, my daughter, she did try it. She did try it. But then I had to stop. And now it's like they'll be doing little stuff with their cousins. But my babies, they're not allowed to record at all. Like, I don't let them record. The only time they can record anything is if I'm recording them. And then them as kids, they might do the little whatever, all those little TikTok things.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah, I know that one.
yeah, and then there's this other one, and they be like, it's like a little dance that my daughter does. It's hilarious. But aside from that, it's like I don't have them doing like they don't spend too much time on TikTok. Like they don't, not my kids. But I feel like in that movie they should have did the children to be like, because I think honestly, you see how you said all of this stuff like growing up. I honestly I was quiet. I stuck to myself. You know how they say Virgos are the hermit, like we just sit in our little corner.
Hmm.
I was to myself. I didn't give a fuck what nobody had to say. I didn't talk to nobody. I was mad antisocial, and that was just me. So it was like I don't really know what people said because I wasn't hanging with people to know what they said. I was kind of like a loner. And then if anything, I had two older brothers. If I was like in sixth grade, if I was in 11 in sixth grade, I had a brother that was in seventh grade and I had a brother that was in eighth grade that will fuck you up if you tried to fuck with their little sister. So I didn't really have issues. I just stuck to myself. Everybody knew who my brothers was. People didn't fuck with me. And honestly, growing up, the only thing people could have ever said about me was, "Oh, you're fat." But I didn't really have problems with anybody, so I didn't hear that. like I didn't hear that as like it wasn't anything for me. Like my cousin, she told me that she used to have issues because people used to talk about her being dark skinned. And then my issue was like, me being fat. Like if anybody, like, people would say stuff because, kids are mean, like you would hear it once in a blue, but it's like nobody ever had a reason to consistently fuck with me. And even when they did start fucking with me, I'd be like, yo, PJ, I heard that boy call me fat. They getting fucked up. And all it took was one time for the incident to happen for people to know not to bother me. So I always had that protection, luckily. But I feel like with these little girls, it's not to I didn't care about, honestly, I kind of wanted to be a boy when I was younger, but I was never into girls. I just felt like with guys, nobody cared how they looked. They didn't care if their hair was done. Because, with girls, you got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be this, you got to be that. Right? You got to be graceful, got to be respectful, got to be this, you got to be that. So I understand what you're saying. Like, a lot of women feel that pressure, a lot of girls feel that pressure, but not me. I was gonna be me regardless, and you was gonna take this fucking raw ass whatever you got. And I wasn't trying to please nobody either. But these little girls, that be their problem. Like she want to be with you basically said it came down to her wanting to be popular and all of that shit. I didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck about being popular. I know people that done suck some dick to be popular. I would
Okay.
you exactly. That's the thing with me. I didn't give a fuck about being popular. Like all I cared about was getting my grades, like getting good grades, so that this way I could get the fuck up out of school and become an adult and make my own money. Like my main goal when I got in school was pass these motherfucking classes. That's it. I didn't care what nobody was talking about. I didn't care about who was fighting who. I didn't care about who didn't like who. But what I did do, a lot of the times I used to sit down and be quiet. And I used to hear, this started from a young age. I used to be sitting down and I hear this one girl talking about another girl. And the next thing you know, the girl comes up and the same girl she was just talking about. And then she'd be like, hey, girl. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this bitch was just, so she was just talking about this bitch and now she finna her up like they wasn't just. So I used to take notes of all of that shit. I knew who was real. I knew who was fake. I knew who this and I knew who that because I was quiet and they used to be like, oh, she don't talk. So when they would talk, they didn't know that I'm sitting there taking notes to know how to move with certain people. Because eventually, even no matter how quiet I was, see, like me and you connected some way somehow. No matter how quiet I was, I always had a select few that vibe with me enough to try to get me to talk, to try to get me to see what I was about. You know?
I wasn't trying to get you to talk, bitch. You was talking to me. No, just kidding.
I was like, I don't even know, but I'm saying, like, how you have certain people. Like, I remember vibing with you. It was you remember Candace,
Candace
Candace.
O'Kelly.
Yes, Travis was cool. Like, I had my select few, but I used to be quiet for the most part. I wasn't a chatterbox. Some people love to talk. Like my cousin, we used to go to the store and take 2 hours because she would stop and talk to everybody on the way. And then we would get back and be in trouble because her ass don't know how to keep her mouth closed. She talked to everybody. If she really have conversations, if she's so detailed, she'd be like, "Oh, how's your auntie? How's your cousin?" And then she's still like that to this day. To this day, she's still like that. But anywho, honestly, she's the reason why, like, I even wanted to, like, I even ever started to be any type of feminine because she was the one who used to be like, come on, Juanita, you gotta get up, come let me do your hair. She used to be like, come on. I used to be like, no, I don't like getting my hair done because it hurts. She used to be like, come on, girl, pretty hurts, let's go.
Oh,
That was how, and she was, that's the one who was dark skinned, and she said how a lot of people used to try to, make jokes about her because of that. But mind you, right now she's like one of the baddest bitches ever. So like she's the one who like she'll be like, come on, let's do your hair, let's do your makeup, let's get cute. And I didn't want to do all of that stuff because I'm like, I don't want to do all of that. Like for what? But apparently women have this thing where they're supposed to present a nice, pretty image for people to look at. And they're supposed to be seductive and they're supposed to be sexy. But why at 11 years old though? That's what I don't understand. She
mm-hmm. Why
like
grow up so fast?
Yeah, my only issue with that is that I feel like they could have got their point across, but they should have used people that was like 14, 15, 16. Because at 11, don't have these kids thinking at 11 that it's okay. I didn't even get my cycle until I was 12. And the saying, I mean, some people get it a lot younger, but they say you're not really a woman until you get your cycle. Because once you get your cycle, that's when you're fertile, which means you could now produce babies. Because before you start getting your cycle, you're not a woman. So I'm like, God gives us our cycles at these young ages. Did God want us to start having babies this young or not? I don't know. That's something that I be thinking about. I'm like, I do get, because some cultures really, if you get your period, they're like, all right, because something in the movie, in the trailer preview, they was like, you're a woman now. I heard them
She
say
was
that to her.
dancing. She was dancing.
Oh, she got caught dancing how she was dancing,
She
and
got
that's why they
caught
said that.
dancing, and her mom was like,
Oh,
"Well, you found out, how to sway your body in such a way. I guess you're a woman now."
that's what I'm saying. Like, you might as well, because at the end of the day, it's like, what interest do you have in learning how to be so seductive? Like, who are you trying to be seductive for? Yourself? Or 9 out of 10 times, that type of seductivity is supposed to be towards the opposite sex. But you're too young. 11?
Yep,
Yeah.
getting younger and younger and younger and younger and younger.
I mean, honestly, when you think about it, back in the days, it's so crazy because sometimes I wonder if we're the ones who's just like blowing it up. Because, back in the days, like say, for example, my great grandmother, she had her first child at 13, you
Oh
know?
hell! Oh wow!
Yeah, she had her first child at 13, but also it's like I'm hearing that she didn't go have sex with nobody and get that baby. I'm thinking that it was probably forced, but at the end of the day, it's like I don't really know the story, honestly, because I just don't know. But I know my great grandmother, she had a baby at 14, and I know my aunt, she got pregnant at 15, and then my mom, she got pregnant at 16. So with me, my goal my whole life was don't get pregnant. Don't be a teen mom. That was my goal. I was like, I'm gonna break this cycle, I'm gonna break this curses. I'm not gonna get pregnant. And I got pregnant at 19, but I was already a college graduate when I found I was pregnant. So I already accomplished enough in my life. I was 19 turning 20. But I was like, I could have been 17 because, at that rate, 13, 14, 15, 16, I could have been 17 and had my own kid. But what's crazy? Because my baby sister she got pregnant at 17. But this girl, you couldn't tell her nothing. She had scholarships for days. I'm like, damn, single mom, I mean, teenage mom, and still finished school and with scholarships. So I just went off on a tangent as usual, but
Yeah, you did. I guess Well, concluding cuties. No, we don't agree with how the message was trying to be conveyed, but we get it. Just leave um the young babies out of the skimpy clothes and out of the way of grown men. So yeah.
yeah, I just don't, like I said, that movie, I'm not gonna watch it though, because I can't watch it because the girls are too young. Like, I don't even want to watch that. It just makes me feel sick because I'm like, I don't even do all of that seductiveness that they was doing, and I'm grown and sexually well, it's been over 13 months, but if my husband was here, I would be sexually active. I don't even do all of that. Can't like,
Well, look, girl, girl, I gotta go to work in the morning. So the last topic I was dreading
um,
talking about this shit. Oh my God. All I have to say is the cop, the one cop that was indicted, wasn't even indicted for Breanna Taylor's murder. He was indicted for shooting bullets into the apartment that went into the next apartment that could have potentially hurt somebody else in the next apartment. So what that can so what you're trying to tell black people in America is he got punished for missing. He aimed and missed.
yep, I saw a
Huh?
post that basically said Breonna Taylor's murderers were basically charged for the shots that missed her.
Yes.
Basically charged for the shots that didn't even touch her. I'm like, Hughley basically came and he talked about this and he said it so nicely. It's like we done marched, we done did this, we done did
We
that, we did everything we
marched,
could to
protested,
to let them
stand.
know. that
hugged, talked to a whole bunch of white people, begged and pleaded, please don't shoot us. Hands up, don't shoot. Chanting, I can't breathe, which we need to stop doing. All this shit for what? The only thing, and I keep saying this, the only thing that is going to show results with these fucking cops is if we go after them and their families. They don't know how it feels to lose their own.
girl, you
Fuck
see
these
how
damn cops.
I understand your way of thinking, but at the end of the day, it's not enough of us. It's like for us to start that type of war, if we literally had a race war, we literally had a race war. We not winning,
You
unfortunately,
know
because
what?
it's just not enough of us.
You know what? I don't even think it needs to be all of us. It just needs to be a select few. If people really stop talking that shit and actually do something, like the Black Panther Party, it doesn't necessarily have to be the Black Panther Party, but if a group of people were so fucking fed up that they had a mission to go after whoever hurt us and law enforcement who were actually supposed to protect us, and girl, do you
I see
know
what you're saying. Like they would basically have to make a hit list and
that?
then go through that
Yes,
hit list and
yes.
then list those
We're
people. This person did something to this person, and then basically try to
mhm.
go back and murder all of them because basically, technically, an eye for an eye. So I do see what you're saying.
And not
I
just them.
understand.
What did their parents stay? What college are their kids going to? Where do their wives work? What daycare are their grandkids going to? What daycare are their kids going to? Like,
I'm sure with their situation, I'm sure that they know that they got people that want them, and they, so they probably laying low. But it's
yeah,
just
but
here's
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't even think they have a clue that they can be in any type of immediate danger. They don't think that, oh yeah, I shot this nigger, they're dead, but their people ain't gonna do shit about it because they ain't been doing shit about it. That's why they feel so confident in shooting us unarmed or harming us in any other type of way because they know ain't shit gonna happen.
that thing is that yes, they know nothing is gonna happen, but at the end of the day, it's like we live. This is what I'm saying. Like, does voting really matter? We have a whole country that's proven that clearly this country is racist as fuck because something like the whole situation is unfortunate because they went to these people's house in the middle of the night. From what I understood, it wasn't like it was broad daylight. You trying to open people, you trying to get in the middle of a night, and you think that, oh yeah, like I don't even understand how they feel like it was justified. I think that in that situation, they should have had a protocol to where they're not going to nobody's house in the middle of the night. That shit in itself was crazy. I'm like, what do you expect people to think? You trying to sleep, and the next thing you know, you got police out your door. Even if police is out your door in the middle of the broad daylight, that shit would still be awkward. But not knowing that it's the police at your door while you half sleep, and then it's crazy because they shot her, but I don't understand how they got to her, but they didn't shoot him. Like that's the other part that I don't understand. Like you should have shot in the direction of the goddamn bullets. Did you use
Because
that as a fucking shield?
when they busted in, she was on the living room couch. I think he was coming from the back of the apartment. And he was able to, duck and hide, but she didn't know what was going on because she was half
Like
asleep
I don't even understand why he didn't tell her. Like, babe, come. Like I don't even know why
because they
she wasn't.
busted in all fucking quick.
Honestly, I
That's
don't
how
know what
fucking
happened,
quick
but I
it
just
happened.
feel it because I'm like if they would have killed him, it still would have been fucked up because of the circumstances. But should not have gotten shot.
Exactly. They shouldn't have busted in like that. Well, and what the fuck is a no knock warrant? Who the hell came up with that bullshit?
I don't even know, but they said it was a no knock warrant, and they claimed that they knocked. But and then on top of it, because like I said, a lot of people don't know, but my mom, one of my mom daycare kids, his mom knew her personally. They're saying that
Oh,
that was the wrong house. They was some drug
of
deal
course it
busted,
was.
and it
It
was
was
the
the
wrong
wrong
house.
house. No fucking connection. How the hell did they end up there? Nobody's answering that fucking question. Why were they there in the first fucking place?
And that's the thing because they supposedly had this warrant, but it's fucked up because why you going to serve? Why you there in the middle of the night? Why not conduct business during the day respectfully when the sun is out? You understand? I'm
Why
like,
not get in? Why not get a real warrant instead of a no
It
knock?
wasn't even about that. It was the principle that they could have went to the people's house during the daylight, knocked on the door, gave the people time to open their door and say, "Hi, how can I help you?" Instead of being in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
night and they being so alarmed and on. And it's crazy because, like I said, it's fucked up because the person who shot wasn't even the one who was shot and killed. It was the whole innocent person that had nothing to do with it. And then it's crazy because at the end of the day, before giving the police time for the fact that they fucked up and made a mistake, like whether it was on purpose or not, they still shot at her and she's dead as a result. So they need to do their time, period. Somebody is dead. Even if
Exactly.
they didn't give them like a whole life in prison, somebody is dead. So they should have gave them some jail time. At this point, this shit is ridiculous because they killed too much of our people without giving them no type of time. And it's fucked up because they've been doing this shit since they've been lynching us. Like, why the fuck don't won't they go back and find the racist motherfuckers that lynched people a few times and put their asses in jail until they die? Like how they found Bill Cosby fucking did some stupid shit back in the days and they put his ass in jail. Like, come on. Put them in jail. Like, find those
Mm.
motherfucking racist ass motherfuckers that did some racist shit and lynch people because it's a lot of them. But because killing a black person is so kind of like degraded, it's like we never really get justice, and we're not supposed to get justice in a country that's not meant for us. And if we want to change anything about it, for one, people got to start going out there and having sex and having babies because we got to get our population up. We can't do nothing with fucking 13%. We really can't do nothing with 13%. And it's only 13% of us because over the years, look how many of us they killed, lynched, murdered, imprisonment, whatever the case is. They taking our people off the street.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they should have locked the motherfuckers up. That's how I feel like. It's like the person who had actually, all of them should have been locked up because I feel like it was unethical. I don't think it's right to go to nobody's house in the middle of the night. Like, you, that's like shit going to pop off. That's how I see it. You
Yeah,
understand?
that's like I mean, it's the same thing, but that's like somebody showing up at your house without calling. What the fuck you doing here? I didn't know you was supposed to be here.
Exactly. And I'm like, yo, I understand. Like, y'all want to, even if y'all was coming up, the thing about it is that they doing all of this for fucking drugs. I could understand if it was like a situation where they're like, oh, it's a dead body in their house. They murdering people over there. All right,
Ah,
go over there with your guns and shit. But you going over there with guns for fucking drugs? You know why? Because you expecting some shit to pop off in the middle of the night too.
and then I mean, there was it literally had nothing to do with her. She had no drugs. The weapons were permitted. They were defending themselves. Well, he was defending, the household. Like, what the fuck? What? I'm done. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
like it's
I'm
fucked
done.
up. It's a big disappointment. And once again, we ain't getting no kind of justice. But at the end of the
Oh,
day,
how do you feel about the $12 million settlement that her family?
oh yeah, you know it's crazy because I like with the settlement, the $12 million. I don't feel like it's like I feel like okay, the fact that they said they trying to give them something is not gonna bring back. It's not gonna bring her back. So at the end of the day, of course, I think any family, like I don't know if you're asking like how I feel about them accepting it, but I feel like they for one didn't have no choice but to accept it because at the end of the day they already took a loss. So that's that. But I just don't want it to be hush money. Like I don't want the family to just be like, all right, we got paid off, let's leave it. I feel like they need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until shit changes. But at the same time, we need to change within ourselves. You understand? We have to have people that's disciplined enough to put together armies and teams. They basically have to sit there and find people that's willing to start breeding people and having babies. And from those babies is born, you training them military style so that this way we can have our own fucking army and destroy their army.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only
Mm-hmm.
way. Like it's the only way. Like the only way. You know, it's crazy because my Queen's father, he always tells me about how Haiti got their freedom because they literally burned they set the whole island on fire basically.
1804, yeah.
Yes. So I'm like in the United States, we might have to set this whole shit on fire. But the crazy part is that only the strong is gonna survive this shit. Because who can
Hmm.
really start from the bottom, like how we well at the end of the day we can't say who because we did it before. We'll be all right, but we can't guarantee everybody else is gonna be all right. Because we fucking was slaves and we was freed with nothing, without a fucking pot to piss in, and look at us fucking now. You understand? So I know we can do it because we've been able to do it before. But at the end of the day, it's like we need a solid ass plan. We need motherfuckers to be disciplined. We need people to get rid of the fucking hate. We can't have black on black crime because at the end of the day, as much as there's white on white crime and other races committing crimes against each other, we need all of our people. We need numbers. Numbers. You understand? And I'm like, that's the only way for us to change. Like, I see, like, okay, yeah, we can start killing their people. But at the end of the day, we want the change and we want it. We don't want to fuck up our karma at the same time. You understand? The only thing we can do is build ourselves up and make ourselves better. We start killing their people, and as a result, whoever you know, if this person killed this person, their karma is that 9 out of 10 times you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So their time is gonna come and return because you still gotta keep in mind you fucking up your karma. So that's what I'm saying. Like, in a situation like that, the best revenge is to level the fuck up. That's the only revenge, is to level the fuck up. That's it.
Hmm.
Level the fuck up. So, anyways, that's what I have for you guys tonight. Those are my viewpoints and my thoughts towards. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm done with the whole discussion, especially on Breanna Taylor. Like, I just, I don't think we've hit that cap to where we're just sick of being tired of being sick and tired. Why
we
do you
are
think?
sick and
Why
tired,
do
but
you
we've
think
been.
more? Why do you think about? Why do you think more cops are being shot now? Two at a time. Two in California. Two in Kentucky. It's going to be more next time.
We are sick and tired, but at the same time, we've been manipulated. We've been lied to. They hid a lot of stuff from us. So we are also compromised to where we can't even, like, we don't even know what we don't know. And that's how they wanted it to be from the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
They don't want us to know how great we are and how powerful we are. They didn't even want us to know that we wasn't even supposed to be living as slaves, because even once they freed us, they still had us as slaves. Like, this is the type of country that we're living in. You got to understand, this country really, really and truly never was for us, but we got to make it about us. We have to keep making it about us. That's why, like, when people say Black Lives Matter, and then fucking Karen come and say all lives matter. Like, we not saying y'all lives don't matter, but at the same time, y'all motherfuckers wasn't lynched for just for being white, the same way how we was lynched just for being black. Y'all never felt that or had to live through that. So clearly, y'all don't think we matter. So we gonna keep reminding y'all motherfuckers. I'm about to get mad Black Lives Matter shit so that this way it's gonna be cute shit. Cause they got little dresses that say it. I'm gonna keep wearing that shit. The fuck?
Well, any last comments or concerns? Anything?
Nope, that was it.
Well,
I'm gonna start
this is.
taking notes because I be all over the place and I have to stick to my notes.
I'm gonna start sending you stuff early because, girl,
Yes, so I can
yeah,
take notes.
sending your homework assignments a little bit earlier.
Yes, and I
But
be doing my homework.
but this has been another edition of Peaches with Me podcast. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and meet us back here next Thursday or Friday, depending on what day I'm off. Next week at 8 p.m.
Yes, next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time.
Have a great week. Be blessed, and fuck the police. Thank you, and bye bye.
Later, y'all.